RC portal is powered by this open on-demand software. Open on-demand, it's an open source software developed by Ohio Supercomputing. So again, it's this point and click graphical web interface that enables you to get access to clusters from anywhere. The really nice thing is, for instance, I'm on a Mac right now. Some of you may be on Windows or Linux devices. How you access our system and what that's going to look like in the exact process that you're going to follow will vary depending upon your operating system. So, like the Windows command line interface is slightly different than a Linux command line interface, which is slightly different than a Mac OS command line interface. So, the really nice thing about accessing via this portal is it does not matter what operating system you have, it's through a web browser. So the process is pretty much the same for no matter where you're connecting from. Even if you're connecting from your phone, it'll be the same. You just open up a web browser, go to the rcportal.hpc.psu.edu URL, and then it'll have you log in. And once you're logged into the portal, it'll look identical, regardless of where you're connecting from. And it's a very robust utility because it allows you to submit and monitor jobs. It also has a file manager app, and then it also just lets you run applications directly. So it really kind of like abstracts away a lot of the shared computing cluster type interaction that you have, and instead just puts it all in a graphical point and click interface in a web browser. So it's just a really nice tool. So I'd like everybody to just go ahead and boot up a browser on your own device and then go to this link, the rcportal.hpc.psu.edu. And it'll probably have you log on through there, so it'll be a CI logon interface. You make sure you connect via a Penn State account, and then you'll just log in with your access account credentials. Okay. Now, again, if you have an RC account, you'll be able to get in. If not, it'll probably tell you like no user found. And if that's the case, you'll just follow along as I do things on the screen today. But everyone go ahead and try to access the portal there. I'll give you a couple minutes here, and then I'll do it on my end as well, just so everyone can follow along. Yeah, and at any point along the way, feel free to either post in the chat if you're running into some issue, or you can even unmute yourself and just chime in as well. So in the meantime here, now I'm going to connect on my end as well. So I'm just going to open up a browser session here, and I'll go to rcportal.hpc.psu.edu. Now I've already been logged in today, so it won't take me to the login, but you'll have to go through that, and you might need to approve a multi-factor push as well. So I see someone there just posted that they were getting no user error. So that means that you don't have an RC account, an active RC account. Now you may have one kind of in the works. So if you kind of like submitted for an account today or last night at some time, your account may not be fully created yet. So there is also that case, but I'd say if you're getting that error and you don't specifically remember requesting an RC account, you can go ahead to ICDS.psu.edu, and in the top right corner, there's an account request button there. So maybe Carrie, if you could check out uh this one user, Yimin Zhu, if you could check it, see what the deal is with that user's account. They just messaged me directly saying that they submitted a request last Friday. But so so here's the portal. As you see, there are some interactive apps posted here. Um, these are just kind of like links that all these apps are also available along this top menu bar, and we'll go through this menu bar in detail. Um, Another thing I wanted to note is you may see on the right side where it's saying this jobs efficiency report and all this stuff. You might have some error messages there. So all you have to do is select this open XDMod link, and then there's it probably says sign in along the top. You can just click sign in, and then after you log in to this XDMod, um, you could probably just refresh the page, and then you'll get some statistics as you see like I have here. Yeah, so at this point, I'll just take you through kind of the menu bar and just kind of give you an understanding of all the different options, all the different apps that are available within this portal. So this first link here, the apps, the drop down, it'll just give you a list of every single app that's available, and there's a lot of them. But so if you know specifically what you're looking for, you can just go through this app list and just find, or you can even search here. So like one of these quote unquote apps, for instance, is this file manager. So under the files drop down, for instance, I can go to my home directory, and we see that I can directly through this web interface, I can access my files. Now, the only caveat here is that right now we have Scratch unavailable on the portal. So you'll have to go in through the command line interface or through a Globus endpoint to access your Scratch file system. But remember, you shouldn't be storing like important files in Scratch to begin with. Um, but within this file manager, I can access my work directory, I can access my home directory, and then these groups that I have access to, I can access any of those as well. So for instance, if I just go to my let's just go to my work directory here. So like for instance, like if I have a file here, like I have some MATLAB file here, I can click it, and there I'm able to directly see the contents of that file. Okay. Also, I can click this menu, this drop down menu here, and I can actually edit the file directly in this text editor directly within the file manager app. Now, we just ask that you only edit small files through this interface because it may jam up other users if you're trying to edit a very large file, and it might also crash your session and your file may get saved in an uncontrolled state. So basically bad things can happen if you're trying to edit like a very large file through this interface. So just leave it for small files. Yeah, I mean everybody knows how to deal with a file manager. And that's what's nice about this interface is that you don't need to understand how to operate in the command line environment to get yourself up and running on our systems. So along this bar in the top right of the file manager app, we see that if I'm at a location, I can open a terminal directly at this location. So we see that I'm in my work directory now in this location. I can also create a new file or a new directory. And then this is also a nice tool for uploading, downloading files. or just moving them around on the system itself. And again, same with the editing, the upload and download. I'd say reserve this for smaller files. For anything larger, you should be using the Globus endpoints, and I'll give you some details on that in tomorrow's session as well. But the Globus endpoints, it's like a batch file transfer, so there's just a much lower chance of anything going wrong in your file transfer being incomplete if you just use the Globus endpoints. Yeah, so this file manager app is just a very nice tool and very convenient for everyone. Along the top here, we have this jobs drop down. I'm not really going to talk too much about this, but you can see this active jobs list. So if you have jobs running, you can kind of just check on them quickly through this interface instead of going in through the command line. And then this job composer widget, I haven't had much of a chance to check it out in detail. Um, but some people may find that useful. I just haven't had a chance to really use that much. Um, but if you attend tomorrow's session, I'll actually show you how to submit jobs via the command line, and I think it's pretty straightforward. So you'd probably prefer using that method anyway. Under this the clusters drop down, you probably will only have this RC shell access option, and this is the method of getting on a submit node. As I mentioned earlier, from the portal, a user can connect to the portal, and then through the shell access can connect to a submit node. So if we select this, it's like portal might be having some issues, might be connected all to the same portal. So the clusters dropdown has provides that shell access directly to submit nodes. And then the next drop down there on the portal is the interactive apps. So again, there's this apps list first. This is every single app that's available. And an app even includes like the file manager app and the show active jobs app. So like everything's considered an app within the portal, but then these interactive apps are specifically apps that will use an interactive session via Slurm on the shared system. We're still having problems over here. Kind of wanted to show you some of the apps that were available. Is anyone else running into issues connecting to the portal right now, or is it just me? Okay, cool. So if it works fine for you all, then I can just talk through, but just keep your portal session up and look at what I'm telling you along the way. So if you click the interactive apps drop down, you'll see all those interactive apps. So The main one is that interactive desktop. It's Rel 8 interactive desktop app. So that will just give you a Linux GUI essentially. Okay, so you can open up a terminal within that session. You can do anything that you would do on a normal like Linux device. Okay. Now, some other interactive apps that are available, you'll see, for instance, like an RStudio app or Ansys or Jupyter. So those sessions are more it's just for one specific software package. So again, the interactive desktop session, you can launch any software from within there, but then we also do have just the software specific sessions as well. Okay, so like if you're, for instance, if you just want to launch up a console session and you're not interested in using the command line interface at all to do so, you can just launch that console interactive app. Um, and then in the user tools drop down, there's this user file system quotas display. So that'll give you a good look at your the usage of your storage spaces. As I mentioned, each user storage location has different quotas associated with it. Okay. And this will help you diagnose any issues that you're having if you're close to that limit, or if you're trying to download some large file and it's not working, you may want to take a look at the user file system quota display to investigate. And then the last thing along that menu at the top is the My Interactive Sessions. So if you click that, any current sessions that you have will be listed right there. So if you have like a console or a MATLAB app session running, it'll be listed there, and then there will be a link to click into it essentially as well from that list.